Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dreams Unlimited Travel Podcast. My name is John Magi.
And I'm Kevin Close.
And we want to welcome you to our backyard here in Central Florida, our lovely backyard on a sunny day. Again, we are not in our studio. We're just having trouble. It's been a busy couple of weeks, and we just can't seem to get in there and record the things we want to do.
Not just us, everybody's busy.
Yeah, everyone's super busy. So hopefully we'll get back on a regular schedule, but we wanted to bring you a show, and we wanted to talk to you this week about food options when you're staying at Aulani, Disney's Resort and Spa in Oahu. We did a question and answer show when we came back from our Aulani vacation, and one of the questions we got was about food. Actually, a lot of questions we received was about food at Aulani. We touched on it a little bit. We talked about the food at Aulani and how it's expensive and how, depending on when you go and where you go, might be a little hit or miss, but there are other great food options around. So one of the things we do, we do this a lot. Whenever we go to Aulani, we rent a car and we go off property. And we go to a whole bunch of different places that are our favorites. We visit them every time we go. We've probably talked about them before. We're not going to go into very specific detail about those, but we do want to talk about a restaurant we found that was sort of this big highlight of the trip that we want to go back to over and over again. So let's start with our routine.
Can I tell them the backup story about the restaurant?
Nope, till we get there.
Okay.
Save it for the end. We're going to do, so let's start with our sort of restaurants we go to all the time. We love them, why we love them, what we like about them. First and foremost, there is one exit down from Aulani,
headed towards Honolulu.
And it's called, it's called Assaggio's. It's an Italian restaurant of all things in Hawaii. We found a really good Italian restaurant.
It's my understanding it's a chain across the Hawaiian Islands.
And it's excellent. We love it. Never had a bad meal, never had a bad experience. We love this restaurant. We go every time. Huge portions.
Well, that's one of the things we love about it, because we don't always travel with huge eaters. Most of the entrees are available in a large and a small size. And not to state the obvious, but with the large size you get more.
So we know that we get very large portions, and if you're staying at Aulani at a hotel, in a room that has a refrigerator or a kitchen, you can bring back the extras. Again, great food.
I think several times someone in our party has had chicken parm for lunch the next day.
So think about that. Think, chicken parm, lasagna, eggplant.
This menu
piccata.
is deep. It's huge. So there are multitudes of choices.
So another place we love is called Anna Miller's. We have talked about Anna Miller's over and over and over again. I don't know if we can say anything different about it, except we love it.
It's an Amish-themed restaurant near Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. However,
we don't know why.
It is definitely a locals kind of place. I don't think it's a tourist place, but it is a good old-fashioned diner. And their menu is as varied as a good old-fashioned diner. However, they make macadamia nut pancakes with coconut syrup, and that is reason enough to get you off your butt into Anna Miller's.
Not only a good diner, like you can get breakfast 24 hours a day, and you can get sort of dinery food. It's a diner with a Hawaiian twist.
Yeah.
It's got Loco Moco.
You can get Spam in your omelet.
Kevin got these Spam and egg sandwiches. Oh, holy moly, they were delicious.
They're just good. I like Spam.
Again, we're talking about good food. This pricing is extremely reasonable. If this is one of those places where you can go and eat.
Picture your local breakfast place.
Right, and not break the bank and not worry about that. And it has something for everybody. So we love Anna Miller's. I will say this about Anna Miller's. It gets very crowded on weekends, so be prepared to wait during the week.
Especially
not so
at
much.
breakfast. Yeah. Especially at breakfast. This is not a really fancy Bloody Mary brunch place. Think more of omelets and pancakes and things like that. It's not a fancy place. However, it's a stop on our trip every time. Sometimes more than once.
Okay, the third location, that is one of our favorites we do every time. It's called the Boathouse.
The Beach House.
The Beach House. It is not the Boathouse. If you go to the Boathouse, it might not be as good. It is the Beach House.
This is why I'm here.
Exactly. Pick me up when I fall. From Aulani, it is on the other side of the island.
It's on the North Shore.
On the North Shore.
However, it's right across the street from the beach, and there's a mountain view, and the front of the restaurant is all garage doors. So in the morning when they open up, they put up all the garage doors, so it's an open air restaurant. And it is a spectacular view, a great seat across from the ocean. There's a constant stream of people walking up and down the street on the North Shore, so there's always something to look at. And they have an eclectic menu. There's something for everybody, and they have what might be the best French fries on the island. They're big, thick cut French fries, and they put seasoning on them. They're worth going just for that.
The French fries are unbelievable. I believe they have the best Loco Moco.
That seemed to be that was the consensus.
And the interesting thing about the Loco Moco is they've changed their menu. They've not changed it, they've redone it. And for some reason it was left off the menu. And we only knew they still had it by asking about it. And they said, yeah, for some reason they didn't print it on the menu, but we still have it.
For those of you who don't know what Loco Moco is, it's a local Hawaiian thing. And it's rice with a hamburger patty. The fancier places use a mix of veal and hamburger, and then it's topped with a veal demi-glaze and a fried egg. And usually it's too much food for one person.
It's a huge portion, but it's absolutely delicious. Again, the best I've found in all of our travels. Some people had sent me that there's some place on Maui that's got a better one. I'm not going to Maui just for Loco Moco.
This is a half-hour ride from Aulani with a car through some of the most beautiful scenery you've ever seen, and you're on the North Shore. There's nothing bad about it, but it's called the Beach House. Don't listen to John.
Really reasonable prices, and super friendly staff, easy to get to, easy parking. You know, one of the problems you run into with Hawaii and Oahu in general is that parking can kind of be a nightmare.
They do have a parking lot.
There's a really nice, easy parking.
It's handicapped accessible. There's a ramp.
So these are some of the places we go over and over again. We go to some other places too. There is the market that's over by Asagio's.
There is a market in Kailua. And I don't know if anybody else has this sort of feeling. However, it's this little sort of rickety farmer's market called the Kalapaui Market. It's been there for quite a while, and when you go in, I mean, it's got a concrete floor and sort of thrown together shelving. They make food to go. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it to you. Maybe it's something from a past life. I am drawn to this place.
The other thing too is it's kind of like where maybe vacationers go and they pick up some supplies,
or people go
bread and milk and stuff.
They have refrigerator or cooler bags. So if you were going to the beach, you could get provisions. I don't know what it is. I have many things in my house say the Kalapaui Market on it. And the gentleman who bought it most recently has decided to expand. And over by Aulani, near Asagio, they've opened up something called the Kalapaui Cafe. It's an offshoot of this restaurant. It has none of the same stuff inside it. It's an actual restaurant. There's a bar, there's inside and outside dining, and of all of the places that we eat when we go visit Aulani, we ate 3 times at the Kalapaui Cafe. We've had 2 lunches and 1 dinner there. And again, their menu is a mix of traditional local and sort of modern fare. I had a shrimp banh mi sandwich that I am still thinking about, and it's been months.
I get an Italian sub of all things.
There you go.
Which is incredible.
That explains the menu.
Right. Not a huge menu, not a long menu, not complicated at all.
And not fancy inside.
Yeah, burgers and things like that as well. But yeah, some really great food.
Worth a stop.
Absolutely. And again, close to Aulani. Not a trek, easy enough to get to, and
near the grocery store.
Yeah, and reasonably priced. We feel reasonably priced. So these are a few of our favorite things, a few of our favorite places to eat. We go to over and over again. We love them. You should go to them when you visit Aulani. But we found someplace new and a new experience.
This is where I get to tell my story?
This is where you get to tell your story. A new experience for this past trip, and we have to tell you about it. We have to share it with you. You have to do it.
John is very John is very difficult to buy birthday presents for.
I don't know where you were going.
He's just difficult. He doesn't want anything, and when I do ask him what he wants, he says real estate. So I always try and surprise him. I try and put thoughts into his gift. So 2 years ago, I went online and I typed into Google best brunch in Oahu, and a name came up. So I called the hotel where this restaurant is, and I bought John a gift card to go to brunch, and that was his birthday present. Lo and behold, I was a klutz and I tripped and fell and broke my arm. So we didn't get to go to Aulani in 2018. So we made another reservation for 2019. We have not eaten in the regular restaurant. We have only been to the brunch, and that's only on Sunday. It's in a hotel called the Aulani. It is a lovely, lovely luxury hotel. It's got quite a history. Presidents and Oprah have stayed there. I guess that's the thing, right? Presidents and Oprah.
I mean, unbelievable, incredibly beautiful hotel.
It
I mean, we
is.
all walked into it and went, let's all stay
We're
here.
not dressed nice enough for
No,
this.
let's all stay in the lobby.
It's beautiful. And it's not really just a single hotel. It seems to be a series of buildings connected by walkways. I would love to stay at the Aulani if I wasn't staying at Aulani. The name of the restaurant is Orchids. And Orchids is world famous, I guess, for their brunch. And when you walk in, two sides of the restaurant are open. One side faces the ocean, and the other side of the restaurant faces, all of the windows have a really perfect view of Diamond Head. And I try not to talk in too many superlatives. I think I live in a gray world. Things are okay, things are good, things are bad. There was nothing I could say that was bad about this brunch. It was stunningly laid out. It was beautiful. The food was incredible. And a couple of us got an omelet and we all took a bite. And I said to them, is this maybe the best omelet you've ever had? And everybody agreed. So I went up and I asked the gentleman making the omelet what he put in the omelet. And he said, nothing. So I don't know if it was the view. I don't know if it was the euphoria of being in Hawaii and having this lovely brunch laid out before us. However, it was superb. Now, there were 8 of us, and everyone came away with the same experience. There were no negative comments whatsoever. So we had another week where we could go on Sunday. So I did something I don't normally do. I went up and pleaded with the hostess. I mean, pleaded for a reservation for the following Sunday. And she said, I can definitely get you a reservation in our annex, which is another room that doesn't have the view of either Diamond Head or the ocean. And I'll see what I can do to get you into the main room. Lo and behold, she worked her magic and we got to have a second brunch there. This is a $75 brunch.
Now let's talk about the food. Okay, so Kevin mentioned this incredible omelet. It was not the view. It was not the fact that we had Hawaii euphoria. This omelet was delicious. It is a gigantic buffet. Tremendous amount of options available to you. Salads, sushi.
Fresh made sushi.
Right, he's making sushi right there for you as you walk up to the counter.
Platters and platters and platters of sashimi. Jumbo peeled shrimp. I'm talking these babies were big.
They were huge. Sliced meat, charcuterie, sliced cheeses, an incredible bread basket, bread display. Never eat the bread on a buffet. Never waste space
Grace
on
from
bread.
Will and Grace told you always skip the bread. That's the cheap stuff. Go for the tuna.
Don't fill up. They had a suckling pig that they were carving. They had a roast beef they were carving. The second time we went, they had a turkey,
There was a
turkey.
roast loin of pork also.
Yep. So unbelievable stuff. A lot of hot dishes as well because it was a brunch. There was eggs Benedict. There was bacon. There was a scrambled egg option. There were pancakes and French toast. There was a fish dish changed.
I need you to get out of the Disney buffet mindset.
Right.
This was elevated.
Oh my
This
God,
food
so-
was changed regularly. And then there was a dessert bar. It's worth going for the dessert bar. There were cobblers and bread puddings and cakes. They had a coconut cake that no one could stop talking about. And then they had a chocolate pie, and I apologize, there was something in the chocolate pie, and I don't remember what it was. It was a special Hawaiian thing. However, the chocolate pie was every time you went back up, you had to ask them to bring out another one because it was gone. There's also a full ice cream bar, and they have giant bowls of things to put on the ice cream. And one of the giant bowls was a bowl of peanut M&Ms. And I'm not embarrassed to tell you, at each time we went there, a bowl of those M&Ms came back to the table with us.
Not only was the food delicious and the servers were terrific, but they didn't rush us. At no point did I feel like they were looking to flip this table and turn this table over.
No, and they encouraged you to walk around and go outside, and I don't want to wax poetic, but out this window is Diamond Head, and it's framed by the window. And off to the side is this lovely Hawaiian tree that sort of arcs into the picture, and you can see the top or the bottoms of the leaves. So Diamond Head is it is posed for its glamour shot.
Right, perfectly framed within this window. Just unbelievable. The buffet was so incredible. It wasn't a champagne brunch. It was not a alcohol included, but you could get alcohol if you wanted.
There were drinks.
Right.
Here's the deal. The Halakalani is kind of tucked back in behind other things, so Siri's going to have to help you. It is absolutely worth the splurge to take your family or your party, your traveling party, to Orchids for Sunday brunch at the Halakalani.
I do want to warn people about one odd thing. Again, coffees were included and iced tea were included. Diet soda, Kevin ordered Diet Coke, I assume all sodas, they were charging him per soda.
It was the only thing I talked to the server about, and I said, you should have told me this.
Right. So at the end of the meal, it was $75 plus his 6 sodas. And you think, this is ridiculous.
3, 4. There wasn't 6. 3.
6. So you had, again, unusual because you think, what a great buffet and everything is included.
But here's the thing.
That was a surprise. So
take your time.
Yes, take your time.
This is not a let's eat and go. This might be the loveliest setting on Oahu. It was spectacular. I've used that word a lot describing this place. It was really nice. And the breezes were coming in off the ocean, and they encouraged you to walk around and take pictures. And it's a beautiful location, but it's also located in a beautiful historic hotel. So you should take your time.
Orchids at the Halakalani. Highly recommended for brunch. We have not had other meals there. We understand other meals are great too.
People tell me the breakfast, lunch, and dinner are also good. I can't speak to that. We only went for Sunday brunch. You should make a reservation, and you should go. And you can get gift certificates if you call the Halakalani and you want to surprise somebody who's hard to buy for.
It was great. Enjoyed it very much. Any last words on that before we get going?
I want to go back.
Me too. We're going to go back. We're going to eat there. You should too. So that'll do it for this episode. We hope you found our information useful. We hope everybody has a great week, and we hope everybody has a great vacation.